Welcome in. Week 9. Let's go.
Hey,
Fantasy Access. We are here, back at the desk, bringing you some more action. Just past the midway point. We're hanging in there. It's been a wild ride so far.
Yeah.
But here we are. We'll get right into it. Got an interesting quick question for you guys this week. I don't know if you peeped it yet.
I am now.
Here we go. If you could change one NFL rule, what would it be?
This one's so easy for me.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Kickoffs. Dumbest play in football. They're not fun to watch.
I mean,
They
but a
end-
kickoff return is so exciting.
Is it a guy runs in a straight line and just like you watch a kickoff return, he just happens to run through everybody.
Sure.
Like from a fan's perspective, like there's nothing
what's-
like a punt return. He'll do a little this, he'll do a little that. He'll
Sure.
cut across the field because he stops and there's like 5 guys already right in front of him, so he has to juke his way around.
move, right.
But kickoffs, you get and then you get a 20-yard head start, and then you just happen to get good blocks.
So what do we? What's your fix? You gotta change it.
So I heard this proposal. It's when you get a kickoff, the team that scored starts with the ball, but it's like 4th and 15. So naturally, most teams would just punt the ball away.
So it's a punt.
It's a punt, essentially. You get the ball, and it's 4th and 15, and you would just punt it.
So your team scores a touch. The Patriots score a touchdown.
And they kick it from where?
From the 30, 20, wherever.
How is
Wherever
the punt
makes
different
sense.
than the kickoff?
Because punts are more exciting to watch the return than kickoffs. And also, punts are probably less likely to get touchbacks.
Where are they kicking it from?
Wherever makes sense. Not really super concerned about that part.
I
And
think
also,
that's a
like,
big
fourth-
part.
I'm trying to think where it would be.
where-
Like maybe
wherever
like
would-
from the 30.
'Cause
you
what
could-
I think they'd kick
They
it in
punt-
the end zone still.
yeah.
They punts go what, 50-ish yards?
When they're pressured, I think when they're not pressured, like I think
So
those
they can
guys
go-
can kick it like into the
Right.
end zone.
Yeah, and would you have them like? Would it be
Well,
like
no. They would line up. It's no special thing. It's you get the ball and it's 4th and 15.
So could you go for it?
So yes. So instead
that's
of
like the-
instead of an
What a
instead
wrinkle.
of instead of an
What a
onside kick,
wrinkle.
instead of an onside kick, which is also a dumb and
So it's like you could have the ball 1st.
I've heard
right.
that.
You just go
Yeah.
for it. I mean, you got to get 15 yards
Sure, it makes
or
sense
20
to kick
yards,
it.
whatever it is.
And
whatever
they
your
get
own
the ball
end.
then at the 30 or whatever.
Right.
I've heard that as like a replacement for the onside kick. And as far as like the kickoff thing, if we were going to get rid of it, I'd say just put the ball on the 25.
Like also
Just put the
a
ball
good
for the
solution.
25.
easier,
Here you go.
yeah.
You get it at the
Because
25. Done.
90% of the time it's a touchback, and they do that anyway.
Right.
But
Yeah.
But then again, you lose the onside
Also-
kick if you just
Right.
automatically give it over.
True.
Also, with the being able to fair catch a ball inside the 25,
That's the
and
other
get it at
stu-
the 25 is another, like, even if the kicker kicks it short and they can return it, or,
Like force a return by kicking
force
it
a
short.
return. Yeah,
Right.
They can now just
can
signal
now-
an onside kick, get it at the 25.
So in order to make the play safe, they made it just stupider and stupider over time.
Yeah.
Where
Right.
you already have a safer play where you give the ball to the other team, and it's called a punt.
Right.
So just set up a situation where most teams are probably going to punt, and you're still given the option to just go for it should you need it.
Yeah, good one. Good one.
I'm on the spot here, but I'm about done with illegal contact. Like,
Oh,
what,
What-
just like
the
touching someone
yeah
5 yards downfield.
The
Oh yeah.
the inconsistency that is called with,
Yeah.
as well as like it's just not. It shouldn't. That should not be a penalty. Some of the ones that we've seen get called are really grazing the receiver.
Yeah.
Like that's technically illegal contact. Meanwhile, like you got a receiver and a corner like hand fighting
Right.
for a fade pass, and like
possession, yeah.
that's not illegal contact. Like how come there's no illegal contact on offense? Like when they're restricting the defensive backs, like, that it's a dumb rule. It needs to go, and I think like on top of that, where I find it problematic is some of these defensive penalties that create, I guess this is really where I'm getting at, that create automatic first downs. Mm-hmm. I understand the intent there, but illegal contact on 3rd and 17 should not grant an offensive team
Automatic
first
first down. Yeah.
So that's really what I'm harping on is the automatic first down element of it. I also think that penalty is sort of dopey, but I've seen that happen to the Jets in that Chiefs game. It was 3rd and a mile, and there was an illegal contact penalty, and then the Chiefs got a first down.
Right.
So, yeah, get rid of that. Get rid of the automatic first down. Automatic first downs only on personal fouls. Now you're getting me going. Offsetting penalties? Like, sometimes they offset, sometimes they don't. Like, what is an offsetting penalty? I don't think anybody actually knows that question, right? So there's this also. Did it happen in the Jets-Patriots game?
I think I struck a nerve.
There was a personal foul. Like, there was an offsides on the defense, and then there was a personal foul, illegal blindside block on offense. Those don't offset, but offsides and holding do.
Right.
Like,
Right.
offsides and offensive pass interference, I think, do. Like, what does, what doesn't. Like, holding and a 70-yard pass interference penalty offset. So, like,
It's true. Yeah. It's confusing.
I don't know. Split the difference. Do something,
Right.
but, like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
This league is unwatchable.
I think I'd have to go with. They did it, I think, one year. I don't think they can still do this, but challenging the pass interference, I think I want that.
Or, like,
Yeah.
the Bill Belichick idea of you can challenge any penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because
there's-
sometimes they just blow
because
it, and it's like
There's
a
an
huge
offsides,
play.
and yeah.
They have all these cameras, they have all this technology, and then they kind of picked and chose. You can challenge this, you can't challenge this.
Right,
It's
right.
like, why? We have all these cameras for everything. Why can't we just challenge everything? Because
I feel like the pass interference one is so big,
And
and
they tried that for 1 year, right?
Right.
And it didn't.
and with that penalty, I guess kind of to go with 1B is that the spot of the foul, which I guess, but like in like high school, it's a 15-yard
15
penalty
yards.
or whatever.
So
But like if you guys got a wide receiver that can draw this contact, and I don't know, like
the only way
you
to
kind of go both ways.
the only way to adjust for that is to make the judgment call on the official, and I don't know if we want to do that either, right? Like, so
That's what I'm
it's-
saying, if they can
it's
review
like a
that-
egregious penalty, it's a spot foul. If it's not, it's 15 yards,
Right.
like or 10
Yeah.
yards, something like.
or
but then
like
we're
check it
putting-
on the
Right,
camera
yeah.
and decide like who was at fault, and then be like, all right, 15
Yeah,
yards or whatever.
on that, like with the fact that we have a what do you call it, a referee run and like look under, like we're done with that.
I have seen
like,
the quick.
Right.
Yeah.
But they could do that with their
Here's the
pass
thing about
interference.
that is why like they don't do that all the time. It's actually like
it's like within the last 2 minutes of the half.
It's
Yeah.
wild, like that this isn't talked about more. That like yeah, sometimes they do an expedited review and they fix it. Other times they don't and they make a coach challenge.
Right.
Like if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do these expedited reviews, then you need to make it like college, which is there's an official that is in charge of reviews and they signal down for reviews. Done. That's it. And
Right.
it's
And
somebody.
they got all the screens to see
yeah,
the
they have
slow
somebody
mo
that's
and be
sitting
like,
in a room like baseball,
yes,
like yep, okay, and it should.
that
I mean,
guy's the official.
right.
Because,
He's
like-
the 7th or 8th official, whatever
Right.
it is.
I mean, the broadcast booth shows the slow motion replay immediately after the.
Yeah,
like
instant.
just have a referee watch the CBS broadcast, and they have enough information given to them to make a better
man.
judgment
Right,
call
make the
than
call.
the refs on the field.
Brutal.
Exactly. And I feel like too many games get like ruined by like a bad call in that sense. So I don't know. Wow, that was a hot hot button topic.
Yeah,
Wow.
scrap the rest of this.
Lot wrong with
Keep
the
going
NFL.
on.
Maybe that should have been in Chop It
NFL
Up.
rule changes.
Oh man! All right. Well, I like it. Maybe NFL can watch
tune
our
in.
show and figure it out. But now we will chop it up.
We got to.
We've got to. So yeah, like I said at the kickoff of the show here, we're I feel like halfway through the fantasy season, through 8 weeks. Looking forward to week 9. But I pulled the top scorers at QB, running back, and wide receiver in fantasy points. And I'm wondering, we can go through each position, but who do you think will fall off of this list in the latter half of the season? And who do you think might crack the top 10 who's not currently on it? So I don't know what kind of takes, but we're just chopping. So like,
just
just
chopping
throw
it
it out. But Jared, you got a QB that you think is not going to stick on this
It's
list?
very clearly one.
I mean, yeah, there's clearly I
Yeah,
put
I mean, you
a,
can
I
just
put a
say it.
little
We'll get through it.
medical symbol next to number 5 there. Kirk Cousins
Yeah,
is
he's
obviously
Well, let me-
he's gonna fall off the list there.
Let me run him out so our viewers know who we're talking about. But Josh Allen's 1, Jalen Hurts 2, Mahomes 3, Tua 4, Kirk Cousins 5, Lamar Jackson 6, Justin Herbert 7, Sam Howell number 8, Jared Goff 9, and Brock Purdy 10. So yeah, makes sense. Cousins will
Right, will
inevitably
fall
drop
off.
here.
But if I was just gonna go someone else, I mean, Sam Howell was kind of a surprise to see there, although
Yeah.
in A8. I mean, he's been
He's been
sacked 41 times,
Yeah.
so it's kind of surprising that he's, been able to throw the ball and
He's like bad
accrue
for-
enough points.
Bad for NFL, good for fantasy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he somehow
Sacks are
somehow
not
gets it
-1.
done. Right.
Is there any mojo behind the what's the guy's name from Kentucky that is on the Titans?
Will Levis.
Yeah.
Will Levis. I think
I mean,
tonight's
he-
going to be, you always say that like that first game, they like nobody's
Right.
expecting it. And like he can come in and kind of do his thing. And then now they've had a week. They're like, oh, this guy likes to do this. Or when he's pressured, he can't do this, and they're like, all right, this is how we're going to play him. And then it turns things around.
So that one is Jameis Winston. He didn't he get traded, right?
Did he?
Winston did not. Josh Dobbs.
Dobbs
went
did.
to the
Excuse me.
right.
Sorry.
Yeah, get
I
put
think
into
they
that
were
offense.
looking at
Right.
there were talks about getting Winston.
Right.
Josh Dobbs with that offense
Could
he
take.
played well enough.
Maybe eventually
Take,
Dobbs will have Jefferson back, and like that could be enough to give him some points.
Yeah.
I think more likely, I wrote down a couple names. I think Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott. There were 14 and 16.
Those are the two.
Those are kind of the two names that have kind of been underperforming, and so there's room for improvement. Dak has been great the past 2 games.
Right.
Has an opportunity to have another good game this week. Lawrence was in the top 10 last year, I believe. Or at least very close to it. That was kind of a surprise season, so we were expecting more of the same, and just haven't gotten that.
Right.
So if he has just enough better games down the stretch, I think he could certainly crack it.
I got one other big one. If they're truly back, Joe Burrow should be in this on this list.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he was already on there.
He's been struggling, or had been struggling. I think the last couple weeks.
I feel like he could climb like
So
right up
turn
into
it
that.
on. Yeah, he's
Jackson Herbert range.
Yeah, he's a top
you know?
10. He's a top 10 guy for sure.
And then so all right. Anybody? So that's kind of quarterbacks here. Let's jump over running backs. We got McCaffrey, Travis Etienne, Raheem Mostert, Zach Moss, Devon Achane, DeAndre Swift, Kyron Williams, Ken Walker, Derrick Henry, and Isaiah Pacheco.
Surprise Pacheco's only 10.
Only 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been good.
He hasn't had really like a breakout game
Yeah.
that would really propel him, but he's been
They are
pretty
using him
consistent.
more than they have used Chiefs running backs in the past.
Yeah.
I feel like so.
Yeah,
we're all
sure.
kind of like, oh wow,
I think there's possibility of I don't know, offensive line needs to sort it out, of a Brees Hall
I like him in the
entrance
second half.
into the top 10 here.
I have Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
He missed
like
3
that.
games, but since he came back, he's been number 3. So if he keeps up that pace, surely by the end of the season, he'll be a top 10.
right. I like David Montgomery in this list. I know Gibbs had a good game, but they run the ball 40
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even with Montgomery, the guy that was the 1A when he was healthy, when he comes back, I feel like there's going to be a role for both of them, and
For sure.
I could see him cracking this list with what he's done when healthy. Who do you think could fall here?
I think Zach Moss with Jonathan Taylor
Yeah,
carving out his
Yeah, that's
role
a
again.
huge change.
And then I'd say, Henry hasn't been great. He's kind of just cracked the top 10. If he continues to struggle, or if the Titans kind of see the writing on the wall and start preparing for next season, this season, they might be handing it off to Spears more to give him some reps.
Interesting that he didn't get moved.
Yeah.
I feel like the Titans, though, when they're winning, he gets like a lot of carries, and I don't know if maybe going to a new spark from Levis will like. I mean, he was launching bombs to DeAndre Hopkins, and like Henry had a decent game with in that. So I don't know if they can go on a little bit of a hot streak. They might. I don't know. He could still be good. He is Derrick Henry after all. I know, and then of course, like you got to look out for injury. Kyron Williams is on this list, but he's out a couple weeks. He's on the IR there, so I don't know if he comes back and is given walks right back into the role, then maybe he can stay there. Did get a lot of action early in the season. I also don't know Mostert and Achane. Can they both stay in this list? They, started the season so hot, but
I mean, Achane's missed the past 3 games now,
still,
and he's still up there. So
yeah,
I mean, I expect when he comes back, and the team he's traveling with them to Germany, even though he can't play this week.
Oh, really?
So it seems he's going to be right back in it once this week is over.
well, that's good.
And you would expect them to just, go right back to that Mostert Achane kind of split.
Yeah.
But they're both have plenty of room to get a lot of points.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, again, I think if everybody stays healthy, this list could stay a little bit more similar than.
What about what's his name for the Lions?
Gibbs.
Gibbs.
Yeah, I mean,
after that
I guess
game,
if Montgomery's got a shot, then I would say Gibbs has a shot as well.
Well, especially what did he?
good
I'm
offense.
looking up what he did right now. He
had like 30-something, 35
He had
points.
152 yards rushing, and 37 additional receiving yards. So
Yep.
almost 200-yard
He
game.
keeps that. Yeah.
Right.
Like, and I think like he was just like running around defenses.
Yeah.
Right. Like it was kind of wild. So, that's a possible addition.
I would say one of those Lions backs would crack this by season end. They're just the offensive line's too good. The offense in general is really good.
I mean, Goff's number 9 for quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one really saw that
Yeah.
coming.
Quiet season. Travis Etienne, I feel like maybe that whole team has been kind of
Right.
quiet. They're very quietly. I think are they 5-2 or 6-2 now?
They won last week, then they're
Yeah.
6-2.
I mean, he's got a touchdown.
Yeah, I
That's
think they've
4
won
weeks in a row, I think.
A bunch of games in a row.
They got 6-2.
yeah, so
5-game win streak.
Yeah, they
ETN
started
scored
off
in all
1-2,
those.
and there was sort of panic mode, and
Yeah.
they quietly have gotten to 6-2, and you don't hear Travis Etienne's name like in the same way that you're hearing like McCaffrey and Mostert and
Right.
so
Yeah, he's been pretty consistent. Versus like Achane has the blow up game. ETN's kind of just like scored each week and been good
20 points just kind of every week.
consistently. Yeah. Cool. All right, and then we can move on to wide receiver. We've got in the 1 Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, Stephon Diggs, Puka Nacua, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Adam Thielen, and CeeDee Lamb.
I mean, the one name that feels like it doesn't belong there is Adam Thielen, but also I can't picture he just all of a sudden stops producing the way he's been playing. Like he's the number 1 option in Carolina.
Yeah, that was a surprise, I think, for everybody.
Right. It was a surprise, but
He's
now
kind of that veteran guy that they thought was, maybe more of like a depth wide receiver 2-3, and he's been the go-to.
Right, but now that it's happened for 8 weeks, like it's hard to see him falling out of the top 10 just suddenly.
Right.
I think of all these lists so far, the wide receivers like this, like looking at some of the people outside the top 10, it's hard to see this list changing all that much. Like this seems like the top 10 wide receivers.
like depending on what happens in Minnesota, Jordan Addison.
True. Yeah, he was looking good there for a little bit.
And Mike Evans. Depending on
Mike Evans he's been pretty consistent.
So I think those are possible additions. to that list, but I think Tyreek is
Locked
and
in.
AJ Brown just have like a lock
Yeah.
on 1-2.
Yeah.
Before Jefferson went out, he was the number one. So depending on how quickly he comes back and if he can produce at that high level
Sure.
again,
Right.
he could probably
And same
climb
thing,
back in.
Same thing with Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
Nakua's on this list because he, started in that position.
Oh, and he had like those 2 massive games.
Right,
it
right,
was,
right.
Yeah,
So
but Cooper Cup has not had some great games past couple weeks. He had the 2 great ones to start back, and then in half point, I got 5.9 and 4.1.
Was that a Stafford injury during the game, or did he get hurt after? I don't know if you followed that. I know Stafford's dealing with a little something right now.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be day to day.
Not really sure when Stafford got hurt. Since Cup came back week 5, he's been 14th overall.
Okay. So not horrible, but he could crack it.
Room for improvement.
Yeah. Another inflated one was the DJ Moore big game.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's probably talented enough to stay up there if Fields comes back and they keep. He's kind of the only option there. But he's going to have to keep having those big games, and
Yeah.
Fields is going to have to get healthy for that to happen. So he could definitely drop. Yeah.
Just another name, Pittman. He's
Yeah.
just outside the top 12.
Colts and
And he's been playing good with Minshew as quarterback.
I think
They
Minshew
throw it
might
a
be
ton.
even like a better option than
Right.
for those wide receivers than what they had before.
For sure, yeah.
So
He's made him really good, and even Downs has been like a flex play.
Yeah. Sure.
They've thrown it so much.
any chance that Devontae Adams pops on this list?
Yeah,
Can't see it.
Yeah,
Because they're switching to the rookie quarterback. And if
True.
Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't hit a wide open Adams downfield.
yeah. Who's the quarterback going to be?
I forget his name, but he's some.
I wonder if shaking things up there could be good though. Like,
I mean,
they
maybe
were so stale and like
Jimmy was just that bad, and this rookie's going to be really good, and him and Adams hit it off.
I feel like too. They got to be like, hey, rookie, throw that
Right,
ball
throw
to
it.
Devontae Adams.
See
every
that guy
single
with the
time.
big 1.7 on his
Yeah.
chest?
Just keep throwing
He's
it to
not.
him.
Right.
He's not bad.
Right.
Give it a shot.
Your
See what
progressions
happens.
are 1 Adams and then end of list, throw it away.
Right, or like give it
Yeah.
to Josh Jacobs.
Right.
like,
Right. 1 Adams,
those are their
2
two
dump.
best players. So just like give it to them, and you don't do anything else. I mean, obviously, it's uncertainty all around that with
Right.
the quarterback change and the coaching change.
And maybe Adams is
But he is
disgruntled
Devontae
for not
Adams.
being traded by the deadline
Right.
to a better team.
Is it O'Connell? Is that the
Yeah. that sounds right.
That's it. Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell out of Purdue? Yeah. All right.
Is that a gimmick offense?
Not really. No, but I wouldn't exactly call it a quarterback factory.
Right.
Oh, Drew Brees. So there's always hope.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So, yeah, give him a shot.
Yeah, and I could see CeeDee Lamb climbing this list a little bit. I feel like he kind of had a slow start. He had the big blow up game last week. Won some people some matchups.
Yeah.
He was obviously drafted as one of those top tier guys, and if they're going to start using him the right way and getting him that kind of yardage and opportunity, then he could see even an uptick here. Yeah. It's kind of all I got. Are we properly chopped on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
Diced?
I think sliced and diced, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's minced.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Been kind of a fun segment so far. We've got some spicy ones. We've got some lukewarm takes too, but for the
Yeah.
most part, it's been a fun segment. So our hot takes for week 9. We'll see. We should probably keep track of the ones we do previous week.
Right. So we do.
See how we do.
Take
Just
some
like we do
victory
with the
laps.
games.
Off the top of my head, not great. So maybe
Maybe next week
Yeah,
we
we
start.
don't-
maybe we don't keep track because
I don't know.
I mean
We had some tight end predictions.
right. We're forced to come up with some hot takes, to keep up with the name of the segment. But then
Right.
obviously, like
Can only be so hot.
right.
Right. At some point, it's just, yeah.
At some point, we're just
it's a
spewing
take, yeah,
nonsense.
Predictions, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. What do you got? What do you got for this week?
I'll start. Joe Burrow continues his upward trajectory.
Nice.
At home against the Bills. Obviously, this is somewhat like a bit of an emotional match. It's the place. It's a Sunday night game. It's where the Damar Hamlin incident happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bengals are on the right trajectory. The Bills have looked stale in recent weeks. I know that they won last week on the short week against the Buccaneers, but I think the Bengals at home. I like Joe Burrow there.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
I'll
hope he's back.
piggyback off of that because I also have a Bengals-related take. I'm going to go specific and say the Burrow-Chase stack scores more fantasy points than the Allen-Diggs stack.
Ooh, I like that. It's a creative take.
Yeah, A little 2v2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. That'll be
That's-
fun to watch.
that is
Kind of
exciting.
keep track of that. I guess I got one in the same game too, but I'm going to double down on my Dalton Kincaid call from last week.
Oh.
Since he's the only tight end now, with Knox getting hurt, Kincaid was targeted a few times. They even had a little shovel pass play for him. He didn't get in that time, but and then still scored a touchdown later. Had I think 15 or so fantasy points, and in the tight end landscape, that's usually tricky to navigate. Guy that's getting that kind of involvement. I'm happy to fire him up, and I think he has another good week. Also, since he's D isn't, rated so high against tight ends, so I feel like it's a good matchup, a good opportunity. I feel like he can kind of do it again with another good fantasy performance.
All right, well, I'll go in direct contrast to something that you said just a moment ago. And I will
Let's do
say
it.
that on the road, CeeDee Lamb is a
that?
single-digit point scorer in fantasy this week.
Wow.
He will not eclipse 10. He will be under 10, might even be under 7.
Who do they got?
They are playing the Eagles.
Oh, they got that good D line. The secondary's been somewhat beatable, but
A boosted secondary because they traded for that Titan safety. His
Okay.
name escapes me, but
well, yeah.
That's my
Maybe
hot
that's
take.
the help they need. I like it.
known
Big boom
anti-CD
game,
Lamb
and
person.
then
Yeah,
So-
I've never liked him, and
right.
it's not about to change.
I'll go with, I'm going to head to the running back position. I'm going to say Jonathan Taylor carves out, even they've been increasing his snaps percentage every game, and he carves out even more of a role against a porous Panthers defense. I think Jonathan Taylor finishes as a top 3 running back.
We're
Ooh,
going
3
top
is spicy. I like it.
There you go.
Pretty wild.
Gotta be a hot take here.
I got a running back take. Daryl Henderson's kind of gotten some play the past 2 weeks. Sent back on the practice squad for whatever reason, but he's officially back. He's on the team now, and they've been using him. He's been the lead back. He's got Green Bay this week, and I think he turns in a top 12 performance against also a somewhat porous defense in Green Bay.
All right.
So Henderson, cracks an
Put
RB1.
him in the lineup because he's
Oh, yeah.
an RB1.
Right.
I got him sitting on my bench. Maybe I gotta
RB1 performance.
reconsider my start.
He also gets
position.
he gets a lot of the passing work too, so it's kind of in that Kyron Williams role.
All right.
And with a couple games under his belt, not being on the team out the gate, I feel like he's in the right form to have a good week.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Germany for this last take.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Frankfurt game, the European series. I will say that at least one, if not 2, Chiefs players outscore Tyreek Hill in fantasy this week. That's right.
Right. So
At least one,
You
if
gotta
not
give us
2.
2 names.
The 2 names that it would possibly be are Kelsey and Rice.
All right.
Wow.
I like
a
these
lot of
takes. I'm a
touchdowns.
Henderson owner and I'm a Rice owner, so
Oh yeah. Confidence.
I'm rooting for your takes.
Rooting
here.
for the takes.
All right,
I like it.
I'm going to head back to the tight end position as well, and I think it's a good time to break out this chart because we finally get to update the Jake Ferguson
It's been a minute.
touchdown meter. It's
It
been
has
a
been
meter.
It's not
We're
over.
only
there.
halfway. We got
Halfway
2.
through the season,
He could go off.
If I can get the mark open.
He's just hitting his stride.
He's at
There you
2.
go. We're up to 2. And
I
my
think we
heart
might get it. I'm standing by this take.
and my heart
You can't back down from it.
No,
Yeah.
right. And my hot take is we get to add a third one next week. Another Jake Ferguson touchdown coming right up.
I like that.
Definitely not.
Lamb's not catching the ball.
Yeah, it turns out.
So
turns out.
someone's got to touch or catch a touchdown from
Yeah.
back, and it's going to be Jake Ferguson.
Love
Okay.
it. Love that take. My one other one, and maybe it's getting spicier and spicier as the weeks go on, but Chris Olave scores a touchdown this week.
Oh, there we go.
Turn it into a spicier take each week.
Maybe hit the jalapeno.
Yeah, something.
He has not found the end zone despite all of his targets and yards, and we know he's not on the same exact page as Derek Carr, but that talent, it's got to happen.
It's got
It's got to happen.
to.
So calling for it, and they were against Chicago, so
Yeah.
your
boys,
right?
Yeah.
But the defense has not been spectacular,
As good a chance as any.
right? So I like that.
Oh boy.
Did we get them all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just hoping that the Saints win that game.
Yeah, that'd be rough,
My Super Bowl pick.
Yeah.
Beginning of the
especially
year.
without
Jeez.
Justin Fields.
Okay.
Well, potentially, he's not officially declared out, but most
You're
likely.
not as an owner. Are you gonna play him if he?
If Fields plays, yeah, I gotta. It's my thing this season.
Ride or die.
Got to. Okay.
I committed to it. Also, there's like not like options. Am I gonna play Colts Gardner Minshew or
Yeah.
Pickett or Levis tonight?
Not
like-
pick it tonight.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's just not a lot of options
Okay.
in my league, and yeah, I don't know. I think maybe Minshew if Fields doesn't go, but just because he's been throwing a lot. But yeah, not a lot of options. Or Geno Smith. Ugh, nothing feels good. I like the upside.
Yeah, the Seahawks are they like 5-2? Is that right?
Yeah, they've been kind of bad.
Well, another quiet team.
Maybe I should have put some fantasy therapy on here for this. Maybe we can do a.
No, I mean, we don't need to rip open
Mayf-
those scabs.
I'm a little due for fantasy.
Geno, Mayfield, or Gardner Minshew. Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield. Who do we
This
play?
week?
This week.
Gardner. Who do the Colts play?
Panthers.
Gardner Minshew.
Should probably pick them up.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
You asked, what am I going to do? Play Gardner Minshew? I think the answer is yes.
All right. You guys got any? I don't have the title, but if you have
Can
a
I do a
fantasy-
quick fantasy therapy?
Yeah,
This
get
is
it in.
not looking for a solution, just need a dump. We have mentioned that the top 2 running backs this year are Christian McCaffrey and Travis Etienne. Those are my 1 and 2 running backs
Guess what?
Awesome. Unbelievable. You must
Led
be
me
8-0.
to a nice 3-5 record, baby.
No.
The
That's rough.
going Higgins Burrow in the 4th and 5th round kind of tanked some of my team building.
But when it all fits together,
Right. Now that Burrow's back,
just
slot him in.
Just keep looking to the future.
Yeah.
We're on
Exactly.
the up.
And they're both healthy, Etienne and McCaffrey. So
They are also both on bye this week, so
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that might be the therapy you're looking for. is
so
that neither of them
Devin
are playing.
Singletary slotted into
Yeah.
that starting lineup.
and maybe Daryl Henderson for you.
He was picked up weeks ago, no
Oh.
chance.
Yeah. And we're playing each other
We
in
are.
our league.
I changed my name to Cam Seslick.
I saw that.
Yeah.
It's very
I
confusing.
forgot to do that last week.
It's very confusing. You go to the matchup and it's my team name and then my actual name. I'm like, wait a minute.
And your picture.
Yeah.
It's a favorite of Tim's.
It's an epic troll job.
Yeah. Mind games
we'll
with
see.
the,
We'll
with the
see.
opponent.
Like Gannon not naming his starting
Right,
quarterback.
Yeah,
right.
right. Exactly.
Nobody beats me but me. But I'm playing me.
Look in the mirror. Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Here we go. Our games and our pick'ems. We got Thursday night tonight. Steelers, Titans, Levis, Pickett. What do we got?
All right. So tonight on Thursday Night Football, as you said, we have the Titans visiting the Steelers. The Steelers are the 3-point favorites in that game, the obligatory home 3 points. Short week, not allowing travel for those Titans. Jared, where are you? Oh, wait, we got to recap last week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is where you jump in
Skip
with
that
that.
off screen.
Yeah, skip that because he went 0 for 3 this week. Cam last week went 0 and 3. He has a 12 and 16 record overall. Jared and I both went 2 and 1. Jared is outpacing me by half a game. We all pushed the Jets, so we all have a tie, but Jared has 2 ties, so Jared is 15 and 12 in the lead, and I'm right behind him on the heels, 15 and 13. Anything goes.
I need a bounce back week. Is what it
Need a
looks
bounce
like.
back week. All right. Well, let's have we always start with Jared first on the Thursday night, so he's going to go here. What you got?
I'm going to pick the Steelers. I think maybe Watt creates a little more issues for Will Levis than he had last week. I like the Steelers.
All right. I'll go opposite. I'll ride the Will Levis bandwagon and go with the Titans +3.
Nice. I think I'm going to go.
We're both like, who's he going to
Don't
pick
pick
with? It's bad luck.
I'm going with Jared on this one. Sorry, Jared.
Bounce back
Steelers,
week.
I got bounce back week.
Okay. So Steelers, what's your take on that? Why?
Well, I have
Pickens.
George Pickens. Yeah.
All right. So this is not really how you're supposed to pick games, but
But I mean, it's like you said, it's a pick 'em
Coin
with
flip.
the at home, and I don't know. I like the explosiveness of Pickens and the possibility that. I mean, I don't think it might take too much in this game. I feel like it could be a little bit low scoring, and if Pickens gets his touchdown, I don't know, that might be. I don't know, might be enough.
all right, moving on to the Patriots game this week, 1 o'clock. They will play at home against the Washington Commanders. New England is a 3-point favorite. Boy, do I not know what to do. The Commanders traded everybody on their defensive line, and Jared and Cam are starting for them this weekend. True. They've been signed. So not expecting a lot of pressure on
Get right game for
Mac
the Patriots.
Jones, but I like those receivers that the Commanders have. Obviously, they have a quarterback that's apparently a top 10
8.
scorer. My gut says the Patriots win this game. But do they win it by 3 points? I could see this being like a 9-7 game. I think I'll pick the Patriots.
They like to keep it close. 9-7 sounds close.
Cam?
I will go with the Patriots as well, and I think they'll have a good luck against that defense who's all shook up.
They're all shook up.
Right.
I'm also going to go with the Patriots.
Nice.
Kind of make this game moot in terms of our pick 'em, but not going to pick the Commanders this week. Not after they
I don't know. They might just come out slinging it because they don't care. They
Right,
just,
maybe.
Like
Yeah,
Terry McLaurin's down there somewhere.
Right. Just throw him the football. My goodness. Okay. Monday night, the Jets at home at MetLife. They're the home team this time at MetLife, unlike the away team last week. They will face the Chargers coming in. The Chargers are road favorites, -3.5. Cam, your selection.
You gotta love the Chargers, but the Jets. I feel like Breece Hall is gonna get it going this second half, like we were just saying, and I'm gonna go with the Jets. Hall has a big game.
All right, Jared.
I'm also going to go with the Jets.
Just making me,
I think
you guys are worrying me, lulling me into a false sense of security.
Right.
The Jets have won all the primetime games they've played. They have done very well against opposing teams, like star quarterbacks. I expect them to similarly contain Herbert. So it's just a matter of will the Jets be
Is
able
Wilson
to
on
score?
or is Wilson off?
Yeah, I watched a lot of tape on the social media last week of he probably should have had 300 yards. There were 4 pretty egregious drops, and he was dealing with a 4th string center. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and pick the Jets here. Hopefully they clean
Look at
all
this.
that up. Yikes. All
And
right.
based on our picking of the our
that's
own
what-
games,
The bonus
we're in
game
trouble.
has
The bonus
been a
games are
tough
for.
one all the while. But Jared,
Yeah.
your pick in the bonus.
I'm going to go with what did I do? The Ravens at home against the Seahawks. I think the Ravens.
Battle of two lost teams.
Yeah, we just said Seahawks sneaky 5-2, but I think the Ravens able to get it done. And to borrow from your book, West Coast team traveling to the East Coast
And a
for
1 o'clock game. Are they 6 points better? Is that your?
I got 6 here. Yeah.
All right, so we will have Ravens -6. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to go with the game that we talked about earlier and just ride those Bengals at -2 on Sunday night against the Bills. So give me Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
-2.
I'm gonna go with a real must-watch here: the Browns and the Cardinals. What we got?
It surely is. The Browns are 8-point favorites.
I was wondering.
Cardinals will. Who's going to start for?
Yeah,
quarterback?
exactly.
Kyler Murray.
I don't
He
know.
seems,
No.
he
Is
seems
he
eager
back?
to go.
I don't know if he's going
He
to
was
play
activated, and then they just traded away Dobbs. So
I don't. I heard that a rookie's going to start, and against a Browns defense, I think
it's gonna be
they have a tough time, and I will go Browns, even with the 8.
Okay. That is those are your games. All right, let's see if we win any of these bonus games this week. Really, you should
it's
all
been
just
tough.
draft off. Like Jared goes first, and we're just like, all right, well, I guess we'll take the Seahawks, or whoever goes first. All right. So
Yeah, so we'll see.
baseball segment.
Baseball,
So, what'd you think of the World Series,
which apparently ended last night.
it ended last night? Yeah.
I was telling Jared, I feel like there was not like a lot of buzz about it.
Tough. I think it's tough because
national media also doesn't really like talking about baseball.
I think if the Phillies had made it, it would have been a lot more of a buzz. I think there are clearly some like stars that are on these teams, but not really anybody that
Established
Smaller markets. Yeah.
or that is a nationally or is one of the faces of baseball. There's
Like
no Mike
Adolis
Trout.
Garcia became a star
Yeah.
during this postseason.
Right.
Or Corey Seager, I'd say
Right.
is probably the closest thing at this point. But
Which one of 4, 5 players in baseball history with 2 World Series MVPs now?
yeah, he's
Crazy stat.
Yeah.
he had a great series and really a great year.
Yeah.
Everyone was busted on him when he signed there, and saw it through. So, any closing thoughts on that World Series?
Yeah, I just wish my D-backs could have pulled it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way they play. They obviously play like a very different game. They try to steal a lot of bases and do things a bit differently. It didn't work out for them this time, but they got them here, and it was fun to watch for
The
sure.
future looks bright.
If you want to know your overall picks, if we count the double downs as their own pick, you got both your double downs wrong. So you went 3 for 9
Should've
overall.
3 for 9. All right.
3 for 7.
It's about my same
outright
percentage.
based on picks.
So now that we are entering
Off season.
the hot stove season,
Oh,
right? The hot stove season. You are each week going to tell us where you think another premier free agent is going to sign.
Oh yeah.
So, first and foremost, we're going to go with the big name right out of the gate.
Right out the
The
gate.
biggest free agent name in baseball, maybe in all of free agency, is
Yeah, I don't know.
Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, right.
Shohei
I do know him.
Ohtani could very well be the biggest free agent in the history of free agency. So, played with the Angels.
Yeah. This is
Pitcher
easy.
going on his second Tommy John surgery this offseason. Hitter, one of those positions alone, he's a top 10 player or top 5 perhaps, you could argue. Just if he was just a pitcher or if he was just a hitter, but he's
Right.
both.
Yeah.
He's going to command a hefty, big bag of cab. What do you call it?
Yeah, your bag.
He's going to
yeah.
get his bag. Who's going to give it to him?
The Red Sox.
That's That's it. That is what you come to watch this show for. All right.
Log it in.
Homer call.
Lock that one in. Shohei Ohtani to the
Sox.
On this
Let's go.
official prediction sheet that I've been keeping for weeks now.
Okay. I mean, it's a possibility. There's
I mean,
people
he's
are talking
good,
about it.
good buddies with Yoshida there.
They need it.
He's endorsed by New Balance. Where's New
Yeah.
Balance located?
Right here.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here we
Yeah.
There we go.
We got it.
Love to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
that would.
something for the home crowd here.
I don't know if like Red Sox fans have the same like take on this, but like watching the various different former Cardinals all throughout the last like I don't know 3 years of playoffs, like Garcia for the Rangers, like boy, if you just made a couple different decisions,
Yeah.
you know the Red Sox with Nate Eovaldi going
Yeah.
5-0, like it's just or watching Mookie Betts
Right.
just go out and win an MVP. It's sort of frustrating.
Tough.
Could have
yeah.
used some guys like that.
Yeah,
on
it might
this
not have been
recent
a bad idea to
No.
Right.
have those guys still on their team, but
So that's why they got to go get this guy.
team. Yeah.
okay,
Fix all the problems.
all right.
That's it.
Yeah. Hey, what could go wrong throwing $600 million at a guy that has had 2 Tommy John surgeries? Nothing, right? All right, there we go. Perfect.
All right. We'll have to keep some
Yeah.
tabs on that. I don't know when.
We have to do
that'll-
a special show in
that'll
March
drop.
to like
Yeah.
Fantasy
recap.
See
baseball
how
show.
everything goes.
Yeah, because they're not going to start signing until
got 3
well
months.
January. Something
They might make a
Yeah,
splash
some
early.
winter meetings.
All right.
All right.
Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you for week 10 next week. But see you later.
We got it.